a little bit of different coverage on the television for my pidgin French that I can pick up, and I'm sure I'll bring you some news about that a little bit later on in the show.
Okay, we've got lots to look forward to. We say it every week, those of us that are in the studio, these 120 minutes just simply race by. We've got a little treat for you just after 5 o'clock. You won't be hearing my dulcet tones. Well, you will probably hear them, but I won't be leading the show. Anne-Marie Batson is taking over between 5 and 5:20, and listen out for her in a couple of weeks' time presenting the show as well. Going to be absolutely fantastic. So this is the Voice of Sports show. This is ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan station. We're on the air each and every Saturday between 4 and 6. Well, how can you listen to ABN, one of the fastest growing, most popular stations in London? It's all the W's, abnradiouk.com. DAB Radio would be handy as well, one of those fancy ones. Did you get one for Christmas? I did. The TuneIn app as well. You can download that to your phone or to your iPad to tune in. Now, it's called the Voice of Sports show for very good reason. I work at the Voice newspaper. We celebrate 35 years of unbroken publishing this year. Absolutely fantastic. Watch out for some fantastic events and articles in our paper. The Voice is out every Thursday. You can download the Voice app as well. And for all the breaking news, it's all the W's, voice-online.co.uk. That's some of the housekeeping. Now, YouTube, we are going live and direct through YouTube. So we've put our makeup on, quite literally. And that's just Michael. Anne-Marie will put on later on. If you put ABN Radio UK into YouTube, you can see live and direct what we're doing here. Fantastic. So, Premier League, Leicester 1, Stoke 1. We're just into the second half, aren't we? Yeah. It's Bournemouth 0, Newcastle 2. Mike, that looks like a little bit of an upset there. Not too long ago, Bournemouth were beating Arsenal, Chelsea and et al.
Oh, no, it does. Look, I think Bournemouth, I said they're in trouble about 3 shows in a row. We both spoke about that. Maybe they may slip down. For me, they need to be beating Newcastle at home.
Yeah, absolutely right. Anne-Marie, we got the only black manager in the Premier League jumping for joy at the moment. There's still about best part of 40 minutes to go. Brighton 1 goal to the good against Swansea. Mr. Murray in the 18th minute with a penalty. That would be a massive result, wouldn't it?
Massive result. When I was doing my notes last night on that particular game, the one name I wrote down was actually Glenn Murray. At the time, he'd scored 8 goals for Brighton. It's fair to say that Brighton's best run is when they play at home. Their away record is actually shocking.
It's appalling.
It's appalling, but they get the points at home, so it's no surprise.
They've got to see this one through, though, Mike. Having too many draws at the moment.
And we spoke off air that there are too many 1-1s at the Amex. I was going to say the with Dean, then that's the throwback, isn't it?
Cool. You're showing your age there, young man.
Definitely.
You're showing your age.
The Amex needs to be a fortress, especially in the Premier League. I think that's really important.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's Burnley 0, Southampton 0. We've got Liverpool 1.
I need to correct you on that Liverpool one. Sorry.
Go for it. Go for it.
Mohamed Salah has just scored as you speak. So it's
he always scores.
Yeah.
Mohamed Salah has put Liverpool 2 goals to the good. Emre Can in the 29th minute. Liverpool 2, West Ham 0. Mike, we were saying West Ham were on top of that game.
Yeah, they were.
At 0-0. Didn't take their chances.
They hit the crossbar in the first 10 minutes. They were having a really, really good thing.
Hitting the crossbar don't give any points, do they?
Definitely.
Anne-Marie, we got another big game at the bottom end of the table. We got West Brom 0, Huddersfield 1. Mr. Van der Para just after the break has put Huddersfield a goal up. That could be a massive result, couldn't it?
That could be an absolutely massive result for Huddersfield. As they know, they're 7 points above West Brom. This is a must-win game for West Brom. They cannot even draw. It has to be a win.
Absolutely right. And don't forget, tomorrow, Super Duper Sunday, 12 noon, high noon, Crystal Palace versus Spurs. That's a local derby. Anything could happen, but you'd expect Spurs to win at 14:05. Can anybody tell me why it's up for 5 minutes past?
I can tell you that
because
it was in case the Monday game, which has now happened, it was in case Spurs went into an FA Cup replay. So therefore they were supposed to play Monday evening. So if they hadn't have put it at 2:05, it should normally kick off at 1:30. But to have that gap between a 12 o'clock kickoff, there has to be a clear 15 minutes in broadcast schedules for various reasons around the world.
You get educated.
There you go.
On ABN Radio. So you get educated by the Voice of Sports show.
It takes into account stoppage time, commercial breaks around the world, and obviously then it means there's enough time in between to fit pre-shows and etc.
There's always a good reason why you're on this show. There's always a good reason why you're on this show. No, you don't try, young man. You do, and that's absolutely fantastic. The sandwich Tomorrow is Man United Chelsea, as we said, at 5 minutes past 2. But the piece de resistance, that's a very bad impression of French there, Michael, is Manchester City versus Arsenal, Amory, the Carabao Cup final at Wembley. We're going to talk about it as we go through the show, but what do you expect to happen there tomorrow?
What I fully expect is for Man City to come out with all guns blazing because of their loss to Wigan in the FA Cup. And I hope that Arsenal also come out all guns blazing because of their...
We're ready to bury George Groves in his career after he lost to Carl Froch in that, obviously, now infamous fight. I think he's a great fighter. I think there's good things coming for him. As I said to you last week, I love this World Series of Boxing. What a great invention it is, because it brings together lots of fighters that you and me may not know about, and it's brought them into the limelight, and obviously there's a big purse at the end of it, so it's great for the boxers.
5 million, we were told here exclusively last week.
We were.
That it was going to be worth a few bob. Well done to George Groves. Chris Eubank has to go back to the drawing board. And listen, I've had a little bit of a whisper during the course of the week that the partnership between the Eubanks may be a little bit challenging moving forward, Mike.
Yeah, I think so. Look, it's always going to be... There's always challenges in boxing, isn't there? And I think that's one of the problems that we look at from a point of view of, we talk about egos, but I think obviously money comes into it, as we discuss. Is it a combination of money, egos? We don't know, but let's hope that that partnership carries on and we see some exciting things, as they are seeing at Anfield at the moment, because Liverpool have scored again.
Yeah, I did tell you, Mike. I said to you, West Ham need to take their chances,
you're right.
or that front three of Liverpool will do the business. Who's got themselves on the score sheet?
It's Firmino, so it's only Mane that's not scored out the big three.
There you go.
So, you know, I think, oh my goodness me, a massive goal. Huddersfield are 2-0 up at West Brom.
Oh,
wow.
I tell you
wow, what a goal that is.
You know, I'm telling you now, I think West Brom are doomed, Mike. They've got 20 points.
They are, and we were saying outside that they need to win 6 out of 11.
It's not going to happen.
That's
half. That's over half of the remaining games.
It will now be 7 out of 10 after today. Pardew going to go for you, or is he going to still be there at the end of the season?
I think Pardew will go. We know that some of the people upstairs in senior positions have gone.
Yeah.
We had also that really sad incident. Sad is not the right word, but we had that incident where some of the senior players at West Brom were holidaying somewhere.
Barcelona in the
Barcelona,
taxi. Yeah.
Took a taxi.
Allegedly.
So, you know, while that's what I call kindergarten stuff, it has an effect on what's going on in a very dishevelled dressing room right now, doesn't it?
I agree. And do you know what surprises me the most? That it's senior players that are getting involved in that sort of thing.
Yeah.
If it was 4 youth team on the fringe players, maybe you and I would be having a different discussion.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the fact you've got people like Gareth Barry, Johnny Evans getting involved in stuff like that is ridiculous.
Johnny Evans that was wanted in the transfer window by Man City and Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have thought, keep your head down, experienced player, captain's armband, those two sometimes, isn't it? So
it is. I've got a goal at Anfield as well for you.
Not another one.
To West Ham.
West Ham, what's the score now?
Mikel Antonio, who was dropped today, incidentally, before Patrice Evra, believe it or not. It seems that Liverpool 3, West Ham 1.
Yeah, I still expect Liverpool to take those points. No problem there whatsoever. So you can see that the goals are going in left, right and centre. Let's talk a little bit about Wigan beating Manchester City, Anne-Marie, in the FA Cup in the quarterfinals. Most people would be living outside because they would have put their house on Manchester City beating Wigan on Monday. That's why we love the game, and that's why we love the FA Cup, isn't it?
Absolutely. 2 words for you. Will Griggs, I think, was the real star.